Thank you all for bearing with us for the last 3 meetings. It has been a arduous task, and I want to commend staff for doing a phenomenal job. I know the applicant has spent a tremendous amount of money. From what I've heard, they've spent $23 million from inception to date on the EIR and all the reports, the development agreement, the general plan amendment, specific plan. I know staff has done a tremendous job. One of the key points I'd like to point out is, I already mentioned it once, but the existing Moreno Valley, the Moreno Highlands specific plan predicts nearly 180,000 vehicle trips a day. And everyone's complaining about traffic on the freeway, and the westbound lanes are a nightmare. I drive the westbound lane on the 60 freeway every morning to my job in Riverside. I work about 12 miles away from where I live, and it takes me about 45 minutes in the morning, which is ridiculous. With that said, if we build out the existing specific plan, 180,000 additional car trips or vehicle trips will be added to that freeway, which would increase congestion and not do a whole heck of a lot for our economic bottom line for the city. By allowing this project to go through, we're going to be reducing our average daily trips by nearly 100,000 trips. We would also be adding a lot of money to the city's coffers. A lot of internal improvements would be made, infrastructure would be made or would be improved. This project sits fairly remote compared to the rest of the city, and I would rather see this type of a project come to fruition as a master plan idea as opposed to the ones we've seen in the past, these little pockmarked piecemeal projects. Not to downplay the previous projects, but one warehouse here, one warehouse there doesn't make as good of a project as somebody who's taken the time and effort to make a master plan project with an end goal in mind, with the ultimate desire to make the city a better place for everybody. The additional tax revenue coming in is wonderful. The higher Moreno Valley program is outstanding. I can see a few downsides of this project. However, as quoted in the the staff's report, it says, if the benefits of a proposed project outweigh the unavoidable adverse economic or environmental effects, the adverse environmental effects may be considered acceptable as allowed for under CEQA. So that's a statement of overriding consideration that I think paints this project perfectly. This project, although will produce a fair amount of pollution, believe it or not, but the economic benefit will far outweigh the environmental effect it will have. I have a bunch of other things to say. I'm going to try to keep it semi-short. In doing some research on this project, I've learned that the Inland Empire fills 16.9 million square feet of warehouse space annually. This project, if every square footage of logistical space was filled, could be filled in 2.5 years. And that is going to happen whether or not Highland Fairview builds. 16.9 million square feet in our Inland Empire every year, regardless of this development. And we could either say, no, we don't want to do this, we want to have 180,000 more car trips and for residences and Burger Kings and In-N-Outs and Starbucks, or we can say, you know, enough's enough. We have enough traffic, we have enough bedrooms, we need jobs. So we can either stand up and say, yes, the gentleman and the company in front of us has put a countless amount of time and effort into this. They've already purchased the property. So it's not like it's a pie-in-the-sky project. So we can either stand up and say, yes, we want this project, we want our fair share, and we want our city to be better. Because everybody says we want a city like Irvine. Irvine's a great place to live, a great place to work. Well, it's because they have jobs, they have logistical warehouses, they have large facilities. We don't. So like I said, we could either have the property, the work come to us, or we could wave our thumbs in the air and say, no, this isn't, just wave it right on by. I'm kind of getting sidetracked for what I was going to say, but I really think that, oh yeah, I know what I was going to say. Some of the people that spoke over the last few days have said that this project is a dream project. It's never going to actually happen, so we should vote no. Well, to those people I say, if they're really against this project, what better way of not letting it happen than by saying go for it if they don't think that Highland Fairview has a good building reputation. So with that said, I would like to entertain a motion. Would anybody like to